I made. Yeah, you best believe it. Yeah, you best believe it. The Sands. Hello, viewer. Focus on the sands. Forget about your problems. Friends had before me on their honeysuckle ponies. They celebrate my medals, or they want to take my trophies. Some love soldiers, but these other thorns are rosy. And if you never know who you can trust, well, trust me, you'll be lonely. Yeah. And are you ready for the sequel? Are you ready for the latest in the Garden of Evil? I'm gonna be the greatest in a golden cathedral. I'll be praying for the faithless, and if you lose, boo hoo. I need one more. Judge me later. The sands now. The sands. It's the sands. No Pepsi yet. The sands is all that matters. No Pepsi. I like Pepsi. But I like the sands more. Let's see you turn the sour fast. And it drains like the sands in the hourglass. Started beautiful, but look at where habit brought us, doing the service of Apple products. It'd never be the one for you. You're never happy, always look around for something new. The sands are done. That's what I thought. All my life been hustling it. Tonight is my appraisal. Cause I'm a hooker selling songs and my pimp's a record label. And this world is full of demon stars and bonds and Bible traders. So I do the deed, get up and leave. A climber and the sadist, yeah. Are you ready for the sequel? Patience. Are you ready for the latest in the Garden of Eden? I'm gonna be the greatest in a golden cathedral. I'll be praying for the faithless, and if you lose, boo hoo. Hey, look, I made it. Da-da. I know there's more words in the chorus, but I gotta play some chess, so we'll speed it up. Friends are happy for me, oh, they're honeysuckle phonies. They celebrate my medals, oh, they wanna take my There's too many of them. It would take 10 thieves to steal all my collection of awards. Wanna take my trophies. Some love your soldiers, but these other thorns are rosy. If you never know who you can trust, trust me, you'll be lonely. Yeah. Are you ready for the sequel? Are you ready for the latest in the Garden of Evil? Repeat chorus. Mm, 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 mm. D minor 7, that means a C. Hey, look, I made it. Because the 7th of the D minor is 1. whole step down from the root, which is a C, natural. Hey, look, I made it. Everything's coming up aces. If it's a dream, don't wake me, don't wake me. I said, hey, look, I made it. Hey, look, I made it. I see it, I want it, I take it. If it's a dream, don't wake me. I didn't use my college degree. Well, I tried, but it got me laid off. Fired without coaching, though it's complicated. Anyway. Yeah, Mr. Peters is afraid of me talking shit about autism. I don't even know if I have autism, but it was hateful what he said about it. I hope he just never replies to me. I don't want to be his friend. I don't mean to be hurtful. Big J, that's an interesting move. Good one. I don't have to respond to it. I won't have time to take because of the mate threat. No, you would, because I wouldn't be there. So there, I'm going to have my pawns double in front of my king. I don't want to do that. I want to move my knight. It needs to move first. And of course, that would be fine. And then I'm just moving the wrong direction. I don't think I'd rather be there necessarily. The downside of not having any development, and then therefore the downside of that move in a way, because you didn't develop. No, stop, girl. I just have so much more time to worry about any pins or any threats at all. Your rooks can't get to any open or semi-open files or soon-to-be open files. So a move like that could even be fine. Basically counting on that takes happening. And then my c-pawn no longer blocking my fianchetto bishop. A lot of things that can happen in the center, and I think I'm going to want to use my rooks to control one of my rooks to control the d-file. So anything with this bishop, pawns that get pushed, and my bishop backwards and into my plans. And I'm just going to go there, which I totally can. Didn't I just stop sharing the screen? I said stop. Where's my YouTube? I'm never going to make it as a streamer. So it comes back up. I get that. There it is. Oh, I have it. That's why I like to have separate browsers. Goodness gracious. Let's start over. It's Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. I looked at the suicide count for 2025, and it was less than lovely. Judge me in July if I have to put up with 2 months back to back of bullshit about mental health. It's normal. Let's normalize it. Let's end the stigma. It's fine. Hey, my dad shot himself, but I like when men talk about their mental health. I don't have trust issues or anything. Sure, yeah. The Sandy Hook guy might have had a mental health issue. Most men who hit women get diagnosed with something. Otherwise, that therapist can be fired. But let's all just end the stigma. God, I hate that shit. You put the 2 worst months of mine and most men's year back to back. I got to listen to bullshit. It's not the bad that drives men and women, for that matter, insane. It's I thought I was supposed to do this. I thought we were going to care. My employer is using hashtag World Mental Health Day and writing articles during Mental Health Awareness Month. And then they fired me or treated me like a terrorist, like a mass shooter. I thought we were ending the stigma. Businesses protect themselves. And I protect my peace, which I hate that term, protecting our peace, because many in the corporate world, in the Bible Belt, though usually not bad people, use that as a cop-out to be dickheads. I was protecting my peace. I was wrong this time, at this point in my career, and he or she should get over it too. It's just an excuse to be a dickhead. You're not trying to be good because you're protecting your peace. You've already decided you're going to protect your peace. And this is my version of protecting my peace. Judge me. I don't care. It was this, or turn into an alcoholic who was abusive. Sans, please. Happy Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, everybody. If you like my ideas, good. They're going to become mainstream after enough moms attend their sons' funerals and enough kids get shot. If you don't, well, I've heard there's a lot of other streams out there that aren't so intellectual. Next game. Next response to my challenges. Max had his chance. Says he didn't put me away. My love for chess and competence is about to shine. Don't want to do that. You could, I guess. And then you survive. And there you lose. I couldn't even drive to the gas station or make it to the chess club for tournaments on time without stopping to play. Well, I was late because of that, not without But because I was stopping to play a bullet game, do a puzzle, literally, I live right by a gas station. I walk to it sometimes. I could not drive to the fucking gas station without pulling out my damn phone to play on chess.com. Life is so hard being a upper middle class white dude. Lupe Fiasco says, selling drugs, white people is the addicts. He's not wrong. Lupe's not wrong on much, if anything. Hashtag Lupe Fiasco 2028, the rapper. But I'm fixing that. I will not play on chess.com until 2026, probably to kick off the new year. I'll have a new trailer. I anticipate my over-the-board rating will be between 1750 and 1900 by then. Shoot high. I'm a man. Kevin O'Leary of Shark Tank explains why women are such better entrepreneurs than men. Because a woman in my position would say, I didn't play chess as a kid. Logically, I would like to start a family. And let's say I become a chess master. Who really cares? So how good will I be at chess by 2026? 1600. Let's shoot low. I can definitely get to 1600. I'm 1539, by the way. And then if I exceed expectations, great. Nope. Sorry. I'm a man. It's in my nature. To lie, Dayton. To lie. To exaggerate. Ladies. Be nice. 1750 on the low end, 1900 on the high end. And that means my online abilities will be so much above 2100. It's not even funny. I will put on a fucking clinic, rested, to kick off 2026. But my dog, which my dog is at my feet right now, so I know, but that's crazy. That's crazy, but I love Dad. Woof, 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 woof. But Nova's happy. We're walking a lot. I've lost 10 pounds. Most importantly, I don't have to pull my car over on the side of the road to play a chess game every 30 minutes. I think I'm joking. Again, it's Mental Health Awareness Month. Talked to a mom, went to her son's funeral, talked to a young man on his third DUI. They're not bad people. But they could have been good people and have a future. With a little bit of weirdness. Good move. Kinda. Can't defend it with a knife. Oh, it didn't work. There. It's no good. It's baiting to take my pawn. Though here, my bishop's being cut out, so you can't push it. I can just do it now. And then something, and then there. Then there. I don't want to let you have that. So there, of course, won't work. I'd of course take it. For any who joined this, hello viewer, or watch the rerun, and watch my content with any regularity at all. Just look how focused I am, look how confident I am, look how calm I am. Hey, look, I made it. Da-do. Sorry about that. Because of the sands. I'm getting control over my chess addiction. I can focus on improving, on trying some stuff. This stream, if I'm still feeling sharp after I do my puzzles, I will take my lead chess close to 2,000. I probably won't get there tonight. Playing offbeat openings, which I've studied some offbeat openings, but not deep. I know which are a little bit better than others. I know F4 is the shittiest as white, but it's still playable. Because I'm not so focused on my rating going up or down, I can have some fun and get better. That's what chess is about for me. Hashtag MCFA. Make chess fun again. I'm going to get a hat and wear it like President Trump does. MCFA. Make chess fun again. It's not a testament to my intelligence that I have to think about the letters in that acronym every time I make that joke. Make chess fun again. How do I spell that? That's right. I'll just get a hat. No, I don't feel the need for speed. I feel the need for slowing down. My daily rhythm. Oh, yeah, because I got off work and it's technically the same day. Though in my brain it's tomorrow. All right, so no puzzles. And this is great. I didn't renew my chess.com membership because I don't need it. Chess.com is a fabulous app. Their decision to jump into over the board is kind of like a kid who hasn't taken swimming lessons jumping off the high dive at a pool. Who let him do that? Lifeguard's getting fired because little Jimmy had no business going off the low dive, swimming at all, let alone backflipping off the high dive. What are you doing in the deep end, Jimmy? Which is hilarious that I use that name for my joke because Jimmy Bot is a piece of shit. Nah, that's not because of any emotion. That's just the facts. Jimmy Bot's no good at chess. Look at him. That's what they did to Hans Niemann. They had no business being near him, near over the board chess. Go give your input, write your articles, do a good job with your platform like they do, and don't reach. It's ugly. It's the ugliest thing ever. Want nothing to do with them. But their app is good. I think Decode Chess has potential. Anna Rudolph, Anish Giri, Sam Shanklin, and several others have given their stamp for Decode. Stockfish is fine, which I think chess.com uses Stockfish too, but I don't need it until 2026. And it actually cuts me off with puzzles. I can only do so many per day now that I'm not a member, and that's perfect. Why give an addict, a person who's struggling with addiction, I should say, an open bar? Wean him or her off with 2 shots of whiskey, 1 beer, until eventually it's nothing. Let's do our little pyramid, analyze them, then sign off. Let's just be different. Oh, shoot. Thank you. Oh, no. This is so bad. But you still haven't seen it. That's so good. Okay. So now I'm fucked. Now, man. I had my chances. Thank God. I am going to play one more. But to my credit, I am analyzing every single game. Whether I play like that, whether I'm sharp, whether I notice my piece is hanging and totally forget to fix it. Terrible. But to my credit, I didn't run out of time like the opponent did. And if we don't have the brain power, which I do, just touch the object we're using. A pink eraser is how I tried, but kind of sort of failed, but the effort was there. And a lot of mental health people say, just trying's not enough. You need to get help. Well, in part, it's because it's a business. They have to make money. But having the desire to fix anything or learn something like chess is a huge first step. Maybe it doesn't work that time. Maybe you still struggle with your addiction. You don't get it right. But that's so important. And that was the pink eraser for me. And you trying to sell a course? No, I haven't made one. Before you get fired up, a lot worse courses out there than one I would make. Pink eraser on my laptop. Stop. Clear it. The past is dead. Erase it. Start new. It's an extra parameter that could remind me why I put it there, why I should stop playing online chess, my dog, over the board chess, etc. I'm working again. I would just sit there and play online chess in my bed, cry. Pink eraser. Hourglass. If we can't actually do it like I have here, like I'm doing here, just touch it. I tried. I failed. I didn't get. And some people, this is actually very serious. I'm kind of being silly, but chess addiction, it's all relative. I mean, it's not cocaine. You're not going to die probably from it. Unless you can't get to 1,000 and you try really hard, then you might have some problems in life. Some chess woman, I forget her name. It might have been Jules. Which shout out to her. She crossed 2,000 in Blitz on chess.com. Pretty sure it was Jules. Her and Lil Lermis Botez, I believe, were talking about loneliness in their 20s and dating. And Jewel, I'm almost positive it was her, mentioned, I probably wouldn't date a guy who struggled to get past 1,000 in chess. I don't know if she's talking over the board or not. Jules isn't my type, but she seems fabulous. I would be friends with her. And she's much younger, which not a big problem. But yeah, you got to be able to get to 1,000, right? There's nothing impressive about that. Everyone's addiction is important to them, and I would never make fun of anyone for what they're struggling with. A big reason I think the Democrats got smoked in the election and why a lot of young people are fed up with corporate America is they've decided only these people are hurting. And yes, some people have more hardship in life, but Hunter Biden became a drug addict. Alice Walton couldn't stop driving drunk, and she had all daddy's money to fix her addiction. She's a miserable person. No one happy at 62 who could afford a limo every night of her life, drives drunk and risks the lives of others. No one. She's not happy. There's no way. And they have everything. So is it their fault? Yeah, a lot of times it is self-inflicted. But still, it's Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. We should be kind to everyone. and be consistent with our policies in business, how we treat strangers. There's some, I think, it might have been a Lone Star song. Well, I forget who sang it. It's an older song. But a guy was on his way to jump off a bridge. Someone was nice to him. Forget the song. You just never know. So let's not laugh at silly ideas like Hourglass. What if my friend and the hundreds of thousands of other young men who killed themselves just this year, when they had a gun to their head, they said, how about I just do that stupid fucking Hourglass thing Dayton jokes about? 60 seconds. I'm done. My ex-girlfriend's a bitch. She's a cheating bitch. My teacher failed me because he's an asshole. He's out to get me. My mom never listened. She wants me to live the life she wanted. This is exactly why I'm done. This bullet's going in my brain, but I'm going to be dead anyway, so fuck it. Let's try this stupid Hourglass thing Dayton suggests. Oh yeah, my childhood bully is doing well. Fucking idiot. I thought karma was a bitch. But I'm the one hurting. Yeah. You know what? On second thought, now that 60 seconds has passed, maybe I was a piece of shit. I didn't deserve to be cheated on. She was wrong for that. But I wasn't nice either. I was negative. We'll both live and learn. Maybe my professor flunked me because I think college is a fucking scam. And these are not my thoughts or my personal experiences, just common things people struggle with. And yeah, my mom should be more open-minded, but I don't want her to go to my funeral. That'd be so sad for her. She'd have to talk to her friends about it. Oh. And now that 60 seconds is up, I should actually Google failed suicide attempts. That guy, he was going where to school? He had his whole life ahead of him, and now he can't use his face, can't smile. Brain doesn't work at all. It's paralyzed from the failed suicide attempt. There's no guarantee, even if I can't get over these thoughts, that I'll fucking succeed. Damn. Yeah. I'll go get a job. So it's all funny, ha, and this is why I struggle to agree with or even listen to most mental health advocates. Yeah, he's such an asshole. He doesn't take this seriously. No, I take it too seriously, actually. And I was like you in 2019 when I kind of got serious. I never really thought about other people. I'm telling the truth when it comes to mental health, in part because I'm from a very conservative area where you're told to pray about it, and you would be shamed. My churches didn't shame me, but I only talked to one youth pastor. I never told anyone else that I talked to him because he was very closed-minded. He immediately brought up the story of a young boy who took his life, and I asked him if that boy's going to hell, and he basically said, apparently, I don't know. It wasn't a no. It wasn't an I don't know either. And I remember I'm like, fuck this. That's the area I'm from. Great people. A lot of that mindset, though. Schizophrenia is real. I don't have schizophrenia, bipolar, autism. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. That's real genetic deficits that can be overcome. And some people I talk to, this is the 2000s. You don't believe that shit's real? Are you kidding me? You don't believe addiction is real? And I think they do, but they just don't think. And for some mental health advocates to try to change the minds of some people I've talked to about my friend's suicide, about any thoughts I had when I was younger, questioning the existence of God, which I'm still not sold. You're never going to change their minds. The only way you'll change their minds is if they've had an experience like losing their son or daughter to suicide, have had time to reflect on it. And likely, many would still revert back to their old ways with time. So they have to want to listen. Don't beat on DC's doors to explain how bipolar disorder works or what's happening in the brain, because they have Google. If they want to know, they can Google. It's very clear. Yet some spend their lives making fancy PowerPoint presentations, traveling for mental health awareness, walking in marathons, raising money. Some mental health advocates will crawl across America, swim across the ocean, but they won't fucking listen. I've given 8,000 or more ride shares, dealt more blackjack hands. I mostly shut up, so I hear all kinds of stories. I've met several people who have lost a friend or family member to suicide, some who have failed to take their own lives, soldiers who have went to, I think the most I've heard was 8 of his friends' funerals, who died by suicide. And I've mostly changed my perspective. I definitely think there should be a stigma. I could explain that in a different video, why I think that. And I'm positive I disagree with most mental health advocates who are usually curing their own guilt from a past mistake and or are too emotional to improve the situation. For example, my mom is highly intelligent. Had she chose to not have me and put all the energy she did into being a mom toward climbing the corporate ladder, my mom would be a fucking CEO. She's a little too nice. But again, it's in large part because she chose the life path she did. She's highly competent, well-spoken, great with people, intuitive, calm under pressure, stubborn as hell. My mom would have been the best on earth to talk to my friend had we known he was struggling. His mom would have been the best for me. My mom is awful for me because she loves me. I would never hurt myself now. I've never been suicidal. But if I had to place money on who would have been most likely to be the last straw for me in my younger years, definitely my mom. Even though, again, I just complimented her for being everything I said, which I mean, and I would choose her first to help any young man struggling. And from there, we get into weird ideas. I love my mom. That's not weirder than my mom crying at my casket. That's not weirder than, even worse, me hurting somebody driving drunk. So it's my month. Like a lot of women say, "Hi, Myth, are you real? Or is this all a simulation?" Rick and Morty is a great episode on simulation theory. I don't believe in simulation theory, first of all. I don't care. Yeah, you're real. That's what a mythical creature would say. You're as real as, what's that video? The Crazy Hot Matrix. A female unicorn. Derailed me a little bit, Myth. Bust. You watch Mythbusters? Oh. That's right. Ladies, which women tend to care more about people. I would vote for a female president, especially if she were running against the likes of Kamala Harris. If she were the best candidate, I really would. Would I want a woman leading a war? Yes. If, and after a woman successfully leads a major war. Especially then. Sure. Could a woman be the greatest chess player of all time? I don't have evidence that is possible. But if and when I do, I would certainly put my money on the highest rated athlete. So women tend to give a shit more about people. They're also a lot calmer, less likely to exaggerate, as I mentioned earlier. Women are great people. More likely to give bad mental health advice on months like Men's Mental Health Awareness Month because they care. And I don't think women are emotional. I think they are more likely to care, which can lead to emotional decision making. I think men get emotional when we compete for anything, even if it doesn't matter, which is how bad things happen, like Putin fucking killing Ukrainians. I think women get emotional with advice, generally speaking, and men's ego, yes. Women get emotional with advice more often, and men tend to get emotional with our decisions. My personal opinion, based on a lot of evidence and testing. Men ego doesn't allow authority to women. It's not about allowing authority to women. Like I said, in war, I wouldn't probably want a woman leading a war until I've seen that it's doable. Not to say they couldn't be better than men. I just haven't seen it happen. I think a lot of men have led stupid movements, conquered things that had no value, and killed a lot of people doing it. But they did conquer some shit. So, a female Genghis Khan could happen, and if it does, probably be fine with a woman leading a war. I also do think there's an element of human nature, just like this comment here. I need to shut up before I say something that's going to get me killed. I already have. Men ego doesn't allow authority to women. That's not true. The female ego exists too, of course. And it's mostly men's fault. Women have to overcompensate or feel like they should overcompensate in certain environments by being overly hateful. I saw a Daniel Negreanu clip, who's a great poker player. I only know of him because he got into chess, and I saw a video of him discussing chess. But he mentioned that the very best female poker players in the world are too aggressive. To paraphrase, I think he meant they could be even a little bit better at poker if they would just not be quite as aggressive. But they had to be that way to survive in that world. It's not their fault. It's men's fault. Still, would I want that attitude leading a war, regardless of whose fault it is that women, the best women, became that way? No, I wouldn't. I have to prove that I'm in control. All right. There's 100 men, 100 of your soldiers that just died, which it might win you the war because now you've proven you can make hard decisions. People realize you're not to be messed with, but you just killed your fucking army. Going back to the mental health rant, men can't wear a shirt that says boys protect boys or boys support boys. I've seen women, usually younger girls, with shirts that say girls support girls. I understand the reasons for that. Women have not had rights as long. Women aren't physically imposing usually. I can protect myself. No one's going to, at least alone, try to beat the shit out of me for no reason. Women get kidnapped. I get it. But that's not why she was wearing the shirt. She's wearing the shirt because her brain's too young to be developed or really know what she thinks. Her mom told her some stuff. Teachers saw it on TV. I hate men in a way is what I see when I see those shirts. That's what they mean. Still, women do care a lot more than men about people, generally. And take abortion. I am pro-abortion. And there's no debate. There's some things I would listen to, like maybe I could be wrong, religion being one. I wouldn't waste my time researching it, but I would listen to arguments. I think it's interesting. I just don't have any evidence. Abortion it's a stupid argument. It's body. At least admit that if a woman gets raped, she should not have to have the baby. But a lot of religious people, probably not the majority anymore, say, no, that was part of God's plan. It has to happen. She's having the fucking baby. She might have gotten an STD. The baby might have mental health issues because the dad was on drugs. They don't know anything about him. That's her choice. You can't tell her to have the baby. Yet a lot of white dudes in D.C. want to do that. My body, my choice. I agree, ladies, if I'm allowed to have an opinion as a man. Hashtag feminism. Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, my choice. Please be silent. And just as I mentioned, my mom would be great to talk to other young men struggling, but not me because she's emotional with me. That's kind of how I feel about Mental Health Awareness Month. The more someone wants to help or feels guilty about a past mistake, more likely they are to be someone's last straw or give bad advice. The only way, I hate to say this, a woman could add value to men's mental health while clothed and talking is if she's older, probably a mom who lost her son and has had decades to reflect and done what I've done. Of course, it went faster, the stages of grieving for me, because I mean, I'm not a parent, but I'm talking decades for a parent. And then to go through, have all these ideas, start testing them, realize some don't work, realize they were wrong, be sad again, relive the memory every fucking Mother's Day, not get a card on Mother's Day, and then think, okay, what objectively, like, how can I keep another mom from not getting a card on Mother's Day? And remove emotion entirely. That's going to take decades, and then she could be valuable. But immediately after, she's just telling a sad story. Which is why I recommend some weird shit. Hope you enjoyed my tangent. I better make this work. I certainly won't have any tenure in the corporate world after the things I say. Anyway, there's my bullet. Lucky one. I said I'm going to play again, see how that works. Now I'm not going to play again because I've decompressed. Played like shit. There's no reason to. Actually, when I started getting better on piano, shortly before COVID, I started only playing one song per morning. And then if I was able to make it home to let my dog out on lunch break or didn't have crap going on that night, I might play it again or a part of it again that I struggled with. And some mornings, of course, I would play it well. Some mornings I would play like dog shit. But I only played once. And if I was busy at work, I would make my notes on what I did good and bad. Oh, shit. I'd be ready for the next day. Whereas before, I didn't play that part well. I better do it again before work. I'd be almost late for work. I wouldn't get any better. And it's so hard, especially during the beginner phases of learning anything, because we're making a lot of progress. We have no foundation, so it's just like all improvements. Man, okay, I could have done that better. I just want to do it again because I know I can get it a little bit better. But it's not that. It's we get in our head that it's okay to do it again, and then we're not present for our training sessions. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing with online chess. my opponent left the game. See here, of course, I'm going to claim victory. Sportsmanship is for losers. Here, it's tempting to play another game. I can't control the opponent left the game. Did the opponent come back? Assuming the opponent abandoned the game. That's bad. I wanted to play a blitz game. Okay. It's fine, because I'm going here anyway. It's all right. Idiot. Yeah, I'm not trying to get into that shit right now. Myth, Bus. You ever watch Mythbusters though? It's a pretty fucking interesting show. I am new to chess. Yes, okay. Drop everything. Chess. Chess makes me as happy as I possibly can be. And I'll never debate the male ego. Yeah, you're right. I'm new to chess. Do you have a chess.com account, Myth? Well, my sands drop. Chess.com account, Myth? Yes. Would you like to share it? Can we elaborate? Can we have a conversation, Myth? Or did I say some stuff about women that hurt your feelings? I'm a big fan of women. Like I said, I'd vote for a female president. I would probably prefer a female boss. What's that? But my statement, as I was expecting the opponent to resign and allow me to claim victory, I was talking about playing piano, how I got better. You're just 22. Yeah, you're an adult. Have some responsibilities, and let's get good at chess. When I only played one piano piece, I don't think it's as much about the deliberate practice portion of it. It's psychological. It's I will not lose to my mind. I will not play 2 games when I said I'd play 1 and look at my chess.com account. It's not like I always do that, or always did that. But had that opponent failed the game or failed to complete the game, I couldn't have anticipated that. Most chess players finish the game they started, and it's kind of disappointing because I wanted a full game to analyze. I wanted to play. I wanted to earn it. But if I play another one and rationalize that decision as, well, the opponent quit the game, so I was sticking to my good habits, but I have to get a full game in. No. I said I'm playing 1 game. I'm focusing as much as I can for this game. And then tomorrow, after 6 to 8 hours of sleep, I'll do it again with a positive attitude, learning from my mistakes, and I'll get a little better every day. Well, okay, well, that opponent quit, so that allows me to play 1 more. But I can't control that the opponent quit. All I can control is that I showed up and I was ready to compete till the end. So I quit after that game, even though I didn't get to play a full game, because I don't want to start making exceptions or negotiating with me or with myself. I said I play 1 game. I did what I can control. And that will carry over to other situations. If I catch bad luck in a game or if I make 1 bad decision, get into time trouble, it's my fault. But at least I had the right attitude going in. And if we spiral, which is why I don't love online chess, as an improvement tool past intermediate ranks. But if I can stick with that attitude in everything I do, it will help me so much over the board and so much more than a few extra puzzles or a few extra rating points would. So I'm not playing another Blitz game today. No, damn it. India's out for blood. Whole country's playing chess now. Math, right? It's because you like math. What is that? Is your name Rayan? Rayan? I never heard that name. From India. Yeah, well, Americans watch TikTok. India and China get better at academic pursuits in chess. Also, most Asian gamblers prefer Baccarat, which, not my opinion, it's a fact. Baccarat is the only game at the casino Great job, no. That offers decent odds against the house. It's the only game that over the long haul you might not lose money on. And where are the Americans at? Everywhere but the baccarat tables. Where are the Asians? Playing baccarat, where they might not lose money. You're down 500 points. What happened? Justify yourself. You're 1,200. I just challenged you and sent you a friend request. I am the late blooming chess prodigy. Speaking of factors outside of my control, I did not ask for a life in sports. My dad coached me. He's the best dad ever. I never once remember sitting at second base or shortstop on a baseball field thinking to myself, this is exactly where I want to be. A few of my friends played in college. Most still watch sports. And I think I have 3 friends that coach baseball in some capacity for a living. One coaches high school. One, we're friends. If I called him, he'd say what's up. He's a nice guy. I think he's coaching in the minor leagues. And another one from college. Pretty sure he's coaching high school baseball in the Boot Hill somewhere. I think he's from it's not Sykeston. It's in that area though. But and I'm sure when they were playing baseball, eventually I'll have my last game, and how sad will it be when I play my last baseball game? I'm like, fuck this. I love my dad. My friends are cool. I don't want to let them down. And some of them are really good. But man, if I quit, some of my really, really talented friends won't have a very important piece of their puzzle, which kind of like a role player in basketball. You take away some of LeBron James's role players over the years, he doesn't have any championships. It's very important, especially in baseball. I don't want to quit, and my dad would not let me anyway. So I'll show up. I'll give it a run. My coaches were cool when I was younger, but I never liked it. I never once remember sitting there going, "This is what I want to be doing with my time." Chess is what I would have, by nature, just my personality, gravitated to more. But I didn't know it existed. I don't think my schools had a chess club. Missouri State didn't even have a chess club when I was there. They do now. Go Chess Bears. Go Chess Bears. So I'm the late blooming chess prodigy. Because God knows how strong I could have been had I played when I was in diapers. We'll never know. Until I marry a woman's grandmaster. She have to tolerate some of my views from a conservative area, ladies. But I'm more liberal than most from conservative areas in a lot of my views. And when me and my future WGM wife have a chess baby, we'll see what I could have been, because that baby will be a grandmaster. Yes, I said baby. You mean when he grows up, right, Dayton, or she grows up? No, I mean when Daytina Carr, my hypothetical daughter, becomes a grandmaster at age 2. That's what I could have been. Dayton, are you gonna put women through a series of? Yeah, I'm gonna examine them. I'm going to interview all their friends and teachers they forgot they even had in middle school. Not because I care that much if she's a good person. I need to know if my potential wife is super genetically gifted or if she's just a hard worker. Now, if she's a women's grandmaster or especially a grandmaster, there's plenty of talent there. Oh, you're crazy. Why do I have 3? No, I don't do that. I do it on my terms. Thank you. I sent you a daily challenge. I don't want to play. Why do you send me so many challenges? Needy. Just talked about addiction. But I can teach. I hate to starve my daughter. But Dayton Jr., if I had a boy, I can teach work ethic by withholding meals, being stern, not clapping for average performances and results. You'll work hard. But I cannot teach talent. Chess talent is similar to speed in football. You can work hard. I played receiver. You can work on your routes. You can get a fucking parachute behind you, or run hills with a weight sled behind our backs. But someone with more fast twitch muscle fibers can be overweight, show up hungover, and beat that hardworking person in a 40-yard dash. I've eaten bananas and I've done everything right, and my power clean form is spot on. The 3 points of extension are all together. My hips are firing. I'm getting more explosive. Yeah, and you're still not as explosive as a naturally explosive person who never lifts weights and never runs. It's just the way life works. Chess talent is that way. Do I want the kid who's running with a parachute, or do I want the kid that's fast as shit? I'm trying to build a Division I college football player. I want the kid who's fast as shit. Maybe we can get him to work hard. Even if not, there's plenty of athletes to have made in the NFL that just had it. In chess, I can take a talented kid and improve the work ethic. I cannot take someone with a good work ethic, which is mostly learned anyway, and make him or her more talented. That's why I'll be really doing a good background check before I get married. Then you just want to build super babies? No, like I said, I want a super baby who I can improve. No, I can't play with you right now. Possibly after this game. Said I'd play offbeat opening. It's much harder for me to dictate the opening when I play as black, so I'm not going to do that. I'll play some more slow developing stuff, but as far as offbeat openings, I'm not playing as white. I can't really do much. Yeah. It's a good move. What is that? What is that shit? No, I don't want beef. I don't really want B4. But the fact that you thought I did says something about you and your chess potential. Good girl, Nova. I was considering B6. I'll stop explaining. I won't explain why too much. Mm. I don't like doing that, but a lot of reasons that can become really, really annoying. Take him with my pawn. It's kind of an important. It's kind of an important pawn, though, man. I don't think you can just do that. Okay, so now, see, I'm really solid at playing with the advantage, knock on wood. Can't go there. Which, in my opinion, is one of the bigger differences between, I think I'm a Class C player, technically. I'm in the group that is considered average for a club player, which is not just average. see, because you don't really have enough. So bishop takes. So when I threaten that, I'll be here. Your bishop can't hit me. So I'm just a little bit better. Son of a... It's all right. Freezes your bishop. My 2 pawns still be good enough, but I didn't play that well. How can I hit that? How can I get there? I'll be all right. You get my knight. So boom. No, because that one will need to be. I mess this up. Not going to lose it, but I've messed it up a little bit. I hear me blocked off. Loser. Good girl, Nova. They call me Dayton Carlson. I'm a chess alien who executes pretty easy to spot night porks in the end game. Kiss my ass. I hope an IM or GM watches this rerun just to tell you you're a fucking idiot. It would be funny for me to play an IM or GM on stream and just watch them beat the shit out of me. I'm good enough now to where I can explain after the game and with their help, like what they were thinking. Kind of like some of the bigger streamers who could have been better than they are, but they're still quite a bit stronger than me. I'm talking Dina Belankaya. Alexander Botez is quite a bit better than me still. I think I could take her sister. Her sister's better than me, but not by much. But when they play like the three girls versus Caruana or Vidit, Carlson, Hikaru, like Daniel Naroditsky, it's pretty clear from the get-go who's better, and it's the Grandmaster. Now, they put up a fight sometimes, especially when there's a lot of them playing. You know, they're all trying different ideas to get the Grandmaster out of his prep and stuff. But almost always the Grandmaster beats all three of them, which is Miss Dina Belankaya, who is usually the strongest, Anna Kramling, who is young, she'll get better, and Alexandra and or her sister. So usually three of those four. Grandmaster smokes them. And those professional streamers, I would put up a little bit more of a fight against them than they do against the Grandmasters, but they beat me pretty soundly. But sometimes during the analysis, which is how we actually get better at chess, the Grandmaster will explain what here. I haven't seen any big streams with female Grandmasters, but what he or she is seeing. And then the professional streamer is usually a very strong expert or low-end titled player will explain what he or she saw in that same position. It's very different, but a lot of times after the Grandmaster explains, which I think Daniel Naroditsky gives the best explanations by far, best meaning I can understand them, as well as beginners and Grandmasters. But after Naroditsky says, this is what I saw, then a lot of times the lower rated athlete will say, that makes sense. And maybe I vaguely looked at that, but didn't have time to understand the position fully. Or, okay, and even maybe finishes his sentence. Okay, well, I saw here that you didn't notice. Oh, okay, well, and then that happens. And they're smart enough and they're good enough to figure it out. But you can tell a Grandmaster's on a different level of thought. And I'm good enough now to where I could be that type of echo. Oh, I see what you mean. Versus when I started, and even probably a year or two ago, I wouldn't have even been able to understand what they were saying. But still, that question, are you an IM or GM? I would ask if I'm cheating first, which of course I'm not. I'm with my dog in a phone booth. But watching me play an IM or GM, and even being impressed with my ability to follow some of their ideas after the fact, that's different than executing it live during a game. I understand how major league hitters think and how they and the technique and all that. That doesn't mean I hit a fucking home run. And it almost annoys me, even though that's a compliment because I played fine, that you would even ask that question. And my advocacy for Grandmasters and how impressive their abilities are is another reason why I don't want to do business with chess.com. They don't want you. Now they do want me. They do want me. There's a big push for women in chess, as there should be in all areas. I don't see any reason to not give women opportunities they deserve or give them the chance to improve so they can earn the opportunities. Best player gets it. And I think the chess women of all social groups, and especially corporate women that I experienced and worked with, they want to earn it. And that's why, in spite of the hashtag call it hashtag Me Too stuff, which not all of them are that way, I really do admire the chess women. Jokes aside about their attractiveness, and I only make jokes about the ones who do dating shows and pose provocatively. The female grandmasters who just play, I would never make a joke about that because they have not put their body out online in a way that they are trying to flaunt their looks. And if they did that, I might make jokes about them being sexy too. I don't know, but it's not fair unless they put themselves in a position to be looked at in that way. But it's not about women deserves this job or only a certain percentage of women are in the C-suite. It's I just want to be able to compete with men for my titles and my chances, and I respect that a lot. And I think that's why a lot of industries are backing it down now, but they were so woke and concerned with Justin Tucker, the Ravens kicker who lost his job. And that's what I think a lot of women don't realize is your words, and maybe you're telling the truth, but it not only impacts the man who wronged you, it impacts other men because young girls think, okay, I can call it out too. And then he gets his life ruined. Like Justin Tucker, there's no evidence. He's one of the best kickers ever. He has no job. He'll never get a job again because he's older. Good job. You proved you're in charge. And now some nice young men are going to watch Andrew Tate because he's going to see Andrew Tate will use that case and others, ladies, and say, see, women have no hearts. See, she doesn't care if you can pay the bills. See, she could just put a swimsuit on and go get guys, whether she makes money or not. But your career's ruined and nobody wants you. That you're giving Andrew Tate ammunition. And that's my problem when women, especially smart women like there are in chess, and competitive women, I can respect them and still strongly disagree. And not only disagree, but I believe I can prove that you're doing the wrong thing. But smart women, when they do that, they're actually hurting their cause more than they're helping it, and their cause being helping young women. Because you're going to turn nice young men to what you would even say is not a good influence when they feel misunderstood or they see their peers getting their lives ruined. And so chess.com might face backlash if they were like, I'm a streamer, but actually I would quit if I got a chance to play chess full time. I had no connections in chess. I didn't think I could get as strong at chess as I am, which I'm still no good. So I'm like, I'll stream because it's objective, it's fun, I want to be in it, and I can't do that much corporate politics. But it came easier than a lot of people said online it would, including grandmasters. So this rating is hard for someone who never played chess. I'm like, well, 1800 wasn't hard at all. I made a lot of mistakes, and I was Uber driving, dealing cards at night, being a dog dad. So if I got to focus on it, I'd be way better. But mostly I kept playing because chess.com didn't even give me a human no on my applications. And when women take that approach of women, girls support girls, interesting stories like mine and the H-1B program is at the top of the news. That's what cost me my job. I'm telling the truth. Americans are pissed off about that stuff. You chase people who could have added value to chess business, got new eyeballs to it, made you more money. And I'll go, I'm 30. I don't need to risk being falsely accused or hashtag me too'd. I'm not playing that bullshit. Overall, though, chess women are fabulous for the reasons I mentioned, or they seem fabulous. We all just naturally want things somewhat easy. But as opposed to a lot of feminists that say women need rights, women have rights. You want to talk to someone who was wronged or treated unfairly, you go talk to a veteran who lost his legs. That's another reason I can't stand the approaches a lot of women take these days. What Trump's doing with Harvard, I understand the counter argument. At least Trump, unlike some Democrats, said what he thought and why he's doing it. Disagree with his reasoning. There's at least his reasoning. 31% is too much. We have talented Americans. I'm not agreeing or disagreeing with his choice. I haven't really researched it anyway. But there's the reason. And we want to be everybody's friend. Harvard elites, and I'm from a conservative area. Again, I have a lot of beliefs from there, and I have a lot of things I disagree with. But who the fuck do you think you are? We don't care about what Harvard elites have to say. We don't necessarily care about fixing every other country's problems. India is not going to fix ours. India is promoting their chess culture like crazy. Let's kill the Americans. Americans only have Hans Niemann, and America is trying to ruin Hans Niemann's life. They can't even protect their own. They're helping others, and we're building our country. They're making fun of us. I know. Even the classy ones, which I think Indian chess grandmasters seem to be the most respectful. You know, just their competitive nature. They're sitting there laughing at Hans Niemann, saying, "Our country's sponsoring us, and you're about as good as we are." America's done with that. And the feminists, the Harvard elites, the overly liberals, they're not the ones getting stomped on in the protests. They're not the cops getting shot at because people can't get along. They're not Laken Riley's mom going to their daughter's funeral because she got raped by an illegal immigrant. She's just a necessary casualty. A 20-year-old girl's a necessary casualty. Are you fucking kidding me? That's how woke these idiots are. We got to let everybody in, and if some people get hurt, we can't just forget due process and get rid of the many who might not be criminals too. Like, you never should have let them in the first place. And that's how too many women approach men, with hate, with I was wronged. They don't consider that men go fight in wars. They don't consider that, to Andrew Tate's credit, we don't have much opportunity unless we are making money and or are really good at stuff. Like Alexander Botez, Anna Kramling, the professional streamers, which in part the reason they're big is because they're pretty, and they would admit that. It's no coincidence that the most popular female chess streamers are attractive. Are they good? Yeah. And they've admitted on stream, some of them, that's their foot in the door. That's what initially gets people to watch, and hopefully they come back for the content. But most male viewers don't even see a chessboard in some videos. I lost my train of thought because I'm trying to think about chess and not say any more shit I'm probably going to regret tomorrow. But at least unlike the majority of social justice warriors and feminists right now, I think the chess women want to compete. And though I would probably not disagree with them on most things if we really talked about it, and probably a lot of them are more liberal because these days a lot of liberals are kind of intelligent. They're just, like the Harvard example, they're just kind of out of touch with reality and what hardship really is. But whether I disagree with them or not, and I don't think women have it hard. I think, again, you need to go talk to a soldier. But I don't think they should be chased out of things. And the chess women at least want to compete for their opportunities. And they should get that right. Beat up on me, ladies. I'm going to stop talking and analyze my chess games. I tend to do better with my clock management, if it makes sense, when I play less. But still, I played so much online chess that I just get in time trouble. I manage my clock pretty well now over the board. It's something about online, if I'm not really careful and deliberate, or if I go back and forth between time controls, I often find myself in that situation. I will screenshot that. Wait, where's the chat? Oh, I want to see the compliment. No. Took it away. Okay. That sucks. Let's look at I know it's a good move. I just can't bring myself to make it when that happens. What does it mean when it shows no arrows? Does that mean there's too many moves that are equal or something? Did I miss that? So basically what happened anyway. Connection problem. My Wi-Fi is good. I check it from time to time. Get when I'm not analyzing chess, I have a little bit of OCD. I don't want it to not work when I need it, but here we are, right? What's happening? Yeah, that's not that bad. What's bad is I made this. Oh, that is the right move. Oh, because you're mated if I get that. Jeez, Dayton. See, like, are you an IM or GM? That's such a bad miss there. That's such an awful miss. Now you can tell these are not just ant players online anymore. In the scheme of things, they're fine. Like those moves have to be made. At the beginner level, you'll see a lot of people just panic, maybe give that pawn or make a different mistake. This opponent at least kind of sort of maybe earned it after the mistakes until that last forward. There, yeah, and then if you don't react accordingly, then you're going to be swallowed up. Bold prediction. I'll hit a certain level. I think it's going to be a little above 1800 on over the board, where I face another just crisis, plateau crisis. That opponent who IM or GM, man, good players on these moves that aren't so obvious. There was one that just happened. I'm kind of tired. Like I'm making these. I've done enough puzzles. I'm smart. I analyze better than even professional players do. I'm just going to say it. I'm not saying I'll ever beat professionals. I'm saying I'm way ahead of them because they had coaches and stuff growing up. They had people teach them how to analyze. In terms of understanding my own brain, and being a fucking psychopath with pen and paper, more importantly, knowing how to apply it, develop plans around my own weaknesses and identify my weaknesses, I'm going to be way ahead of them. Because when they were kids, they had coaches, the good players at least. But where I'll lose is those not so obvious moves. Where maybe I have a check that looks good. Upon deeper analysis, it's really just going to be a draw. Or instead of giving a check or the most obvious check, there's a way to restrict the king. That's going to lead. I mean, that's where they're going to beat the shit out of me. Especially if I don't get a chance to do this full time. They will tear me up. Whereas an ant player I looked at the opponent's speed stats, which in my opinion online, I would want to know someone's blitz rating before rapid. I think rapid, like Tyler won, you can just be smart and pick apart pawn weaknesses and stuff at lower levels. In blitz, I think there's a little bit more talent involved and therefore an indication of your potential online. But this opponent had pretty low speed numbers compared to mine. It's probably not that good at chess overall. Grandmasters and international masters would punish, and if they had the opportunity, they would find fairly quickly moves like I missed here. And there's a few moves that weren't perfect in that sequence, and this is a position where it's the end game. Yeah, there's so much going on the board. It's not that complicated overall, though. It would have made all those right moves. And then, like, where I was supposed to bring my rook to the file. Yeah, that move to cut off the king instead of going after this pawn. I'm too focused on pawn advantages and just getting a promotion to make the end game easy, as opposed to accepting that. I mean, this one's not a good game because it's not close, but accepting the game might be close and maybe there's no promotion. Maybe it's just going to be a very uncomfortable end game and playing the right moves as opposed to just taking pawns. They're going to fucking ruin me until I fix those issues. And part of that is just going to be for playing better competition. And then we'll see how good I really am or how capable, how smart. Being good at chess doesn't necessarily make us smart, but it's a pretty good indication that we might be. We'll see how smart I really am. I've only been playing since late 2020, really early 2021, and I played online for 2 years. So I would argue I have two years that really count when it comes to chess. But I'm already mid 1500s over the board, over 2000 online, and I've been doing other stuff. So maybe I've got some potential. I don't know. All right, Mr. Betabot. I'm going to call you Betabot forever. Why? Why do we still have a Vishy and non-quote? Why? Why can't I play? Gosh darn it. Why are you doing this? Show me the game. Thanks. Thanks a lot. Appreciate you. All the night, been hustling it. Tonight is my appraisal. Because I'm a hooker, sells around my tips. Yeah, I called that out to echo where I anticipate my issues will be. I got to get better playing with the disadvantage, a lot better. Even against good players, which I played enough chess where every now and then they'll make a mistake. Because of the fork, yeah. Playing with playing when I make a mistake or at a disadvantage, or just getting outplayed, finding a way to draw it. That's going to be the next. I think that's the next more immediate step. When I mess up against stronger players, you got to do something to make me mess up. If I have any time, when I say any time, 45 minutes or more with 3-second delay. If I have 45 minutes with 3-second delay or more, it's going to take at least a competent, above 1400 player to provoke me to do something wrong. I'm not just going to fuck it up, which is about the definition of my rating level. It's about what I should be doing. Because maybe I'm not that advanced with, attacking ideas and beating people, but I'm going to find mistakes. I'm not going to make many of my own. Now, when I do make an inaccuracy, or someone gets a really good idea, maybe a lower rated player takes a lot of risk to get me out of position, I have to find ways to recover better. And against stronger players, when they get a lead, which they should get a lead as white, I have to find ways to survive it. And I'm just not doing that right now. That's one of the reasons I took a break. It's no good to just keep playing when I know my weaknesses. I know that I'm not really making good progress on those. But going back to, I understand my brain a lot better than a lot of even adults that play do. My self-analysis, and I write all my notes, what I was thinking over the board, what I should have been thinking, what I think after. I analyze everything twice. One early to get my patterns memorized. Try to remember the game. I try to replay it in my head the next day. Get better at that. I'll sometimes replay it backwards on the board just to, re-ingrain the patterns, kind of like break something, then rebuild it if we want to learn how it works. But the first review, I focus on my mistakes. I do it fairly quickly, less than 15, 20 minutes. Then the second review is a day later or when the tournament ends. If there's a big tournament, I'm not going to burn my brain power digging deep for hours and depriving myself of sleep. I'll go back and I will be a fucking psychopath. There's almost no space on the pages. If I really have a game I review well, I'm seeing the opponent's mistakes. I'm replaying it as the opponent until I'm literally ill. And aside from the obvious advantages that approach offers, I can pull it out when I need it. I can apply it if I see a position that's similar. Sometimes I can even remember about the page it was on, like where at in my notebook. Not the specific page number, like was it towards the back of that notebook? Was it after that game or before that game? because I was so psychotic in my analysis. And then I can relate positions that are similar. You know, rarely do we see a position exactly the same after the open. And that position, at least what I need to be looking at, is kind of the same here. I pull out that game and I try to replay it in my head if I can, and I have time over the board, and then I'll have at least a foundation to make the right decisions. If it's real complicated, at least I'm guessing with some knowledge based on previous mistakes or previous guesses. And that's what most of my early chess was. I'm simply guessing. Why would I spend a lot of time playing or beating my brain when I just don't understand what's going on? That's why I highly recommend new athletes not do what I did. I did a lot of things right. All right, Myth, bus, bye. Kurt, what's up, buddy? Good to hear from you. But I would have played a lot more speed chess, even bullet, before I really knew the rules and just analyzed the shit out of all of them, as opposed to just ruining my mental state trying to understand something that I don't have a foundation in. It would be like jumping to, you know, trigonometry before we passed Algebra 1. It'd be stupid. Live and learn. How are you, Captain Kurt? I got to go to the bathroom. I'm going to come back, sing a song. Catch me at the end of my streams, man. But I might be back on, all right? 1 second. There's Nova. Look how pretty Nova is. Nova, great job. Hey, you sat in there so good. She's been with me the whole time. Yay, no. Stretch that puppy. 1 sec. Oh, while I'm gone, before I forget, Hans Niemann, Future of Chess. It should have an article about him by now. What's Hans Niemann up to? Yeah, these are images of chess grandmaster, Future of Chess and Pride of America, Hans Niemann. There's him, and then there's some predictions for his future, which, of course, everyone's opinion is subjective, but the sky's the limit for Hans Niemann. I'll agree with my Vegas. And if you lose, ooh, yeah, Hans is very good at classical chess. Hans is exceptional in all time controls. That's why Magnus Carlsen tried to eliminate the possibility of Hans Niemann proving himself because it was only a matter of time, and there is no better human to assess chess talent than the greatest, which is Magnus Carlsen. Exactly why he continued his tantrum. The initial outburst was just he was Max. He lost the game to a lesser player because he played like shit. He played like me, literally. I mean, he didn't play very well. Could Hans Niemann or any grandmaster beat the greatest chess player when the greatest chess player plays his worst? Any grandmaster could. International masters could have beaten Carlsen playing that shitty. Just a salty little baby. And being competitive is cool. Yeah. Dealing with people we disagree with is part of life. Going after a person's character, I mean, you can disagree with how they behave, certain views, but you cannot accuse someone with no evidence to prove a point. And that's what Carlsen cares about, cheating in chess. It's important to him. I get it. You cannot do that, period. It's not forgivable. There's no need to want an apology. There's a need to want justice and opportunities to compete. So chicken shit, it's unforgivable. And I would say that had Carlsen accused an actual criminal of doing something with that, I mean, you just don't do that. You cost yourself money. Not that he needs money. You cost your game a lot of potential fans. Yeah, what see, I'm and online I get in that zone, especially in speech. It's so obvious what you should have done. I just assumed it was done. Not a good habit. I would have preferred there. Okay. Yeah, space is so important. Because even with them all jumbled up back there, yeah, you had some potential to get active, but you don't want to make that pawn push and control center because all your shit's just backed up. And your pawns are going to be awkward because everything's just jumbled in one spot. So that was my mistake, yeah. I can't go there because boom, and that's hanging, so okay, a better way to block that bishop off. But blocking the bishop off is the right idea. And see, even when I make the wrong moves, I'm usually getting the right idea or a good idea. Rook takes. Another example, that check, it looks comfortable, but it was not the better move. In fact, it worsened your position by quite a bit. And these are a lot of instances where Tyler won, who is the greatest example of someone who figured out how to win online chess games, but isn't very good at chess. But those are the moves we're going to make. It's a check. You got to restrict the king sometimes because a check is not going to be that annoying right now. There's plenty of material. I do have pawns, though they're doubled. And I would have, I mean, it's over now, but yeah, I would have played there too. And this is the opponent who, what happened here? This is, yeah. I was getting my ass kicked. I put my bishop in an exposed spot and completely left it hanging, and took you a few moves to realize it because I'm the superior talent. And then I didn't want to take your knight, but I won anyway because you didn't use your time properly. Okay, and this is how I review my over the board too. I just went through them, looking at my play, not focusing too much on my opponent. Got them in my head, not going to burn too much brain power. And then tomorrow I will look at them deeper. I'll probably do it on stream. I like to do everything on stream. There's too much cheating accusations mentioning the Hans Niemann scandal in chess. Fuck you. I'm too old for that. I don't need it. Also not any good. But I do. But because I'm not that good compared to top players, and I'm far from making a living with my play, I do want credit for the rating I've earned. And I don't want to worry at all about cheating accusations. It's just terrible look, terrible way to promote the game. Or any game, any company, anything for that matter. Not all publicity is good publicity. Okay. Okay. Okay, so that all my life. I kind of like hitting it again instead of just pulling it off. It's a major 7th. Is that what we're saying? Yeah, it's not a minor. That sounds right. I still like when they put MAG for major. Just because it's weird that BM7 doesn't say minor. Just no confusion. I understand capital M is for major, but whatever. All my life been hustling, and tonight is my appraisal. Cause I'm a hooker selling songs and my pimp's a record label. But when I hold it sideways sometimes I take a second to adjust. This world is full of demon stocks and bonds and Bible traders. So I do the deed, get up and leave. A climber and a sadist, yeah. Are you ready for the sequel? Are you ready for the latest? In the Garden of Evil, I'm gonna be the greatest. In the Golden Cathedral, I'll be praying for the faithless. And if you lose, boo-hoo. Hey, look, ma, I made it. Hey, look, ma, I made it. Everything's coming up aces. If it's a dream, don't wake me, don't wake me. I said, hey, look, ma, I made it. Dun, 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 dun. What key is that in? We'll look at it after. Friends I had before me, all their honeysuckle phonies. Celebrate the phonies. Celebrate my medals on. They wanna take my trophies. Some are loyal soldiers while these other thorns are rosy. And if you never know who you can trust, then trust me, you'll be lonely. Are you ready for the sequel? Are you ready for the latest? In the Garden of Evil, I'm gonna be the greatest. In the Golden Cathedral, I'll be praying for the faithless. And if you lose, boo-hoo. Hey, look, I made it. Everything's coming up aces. If it's a dream, don't wake me, don't wake me. I said, hey, look, I made it. Da-da-da. I made it. I see it, I want it, I take it. Be careful, you'll get charged with a crime. Burglary, trespassing. A lot of ways they can get you if you don't follow the rules. Think I must be dreaming. What a work we need. Hey, look, I made it. Oh, my best believe it. Oh, my best believe it. Think I must be dreaming. Yeah. All right. Kurt has left the building. I'll be back online most days. On the days I work, usually earlier than this, like 7 p.m. Or the days I don't work, probably earlier, like 7 p.m. Days I do work, it'll be like 3 a.m. I just submitted a request to change my schedule. Only weekends. So I can start playing in the weekday events at the St. Louis Chess Club again. And maybe even travel for chess if I have enough consecutive days off. And in my free time, check me out on TikTok, which is where I put a lot of my just experiments or practice my content ideas before I put them on YouTube, which is where I put my better stuff. My certificate of merit, I completed John Thompson's first grade book, and I was eligible for the second book, and then it was baseball season for little me. Thank God for COVID lockdown. Spoiler alert, I only made it through like a fourth of this book. I could play these now, but at that time I certainly wasn't actually passing. I guess I learned how to cut corners at a young age, a skill. Well, actually, jokes aside, many creatives and entrepreneurs have to figure out. But I'm going to be going through this. I'm good enough on piano and guitar for my purposes. I play the alto sax a little bit and ukulele. But I need to be proper. So I'll be not having much fun, but I will be getting the proper fingering down on my piano. What a hateful person. Women are too emotional. Oh, women are too. Okay, I didn't see intelligent. I don't like generalities. Some men are super emotional. Some women are. It's when you said that you'd work for a female boss, you'd vote for a female president, she was good. You wouldn't love her leading a war until a woman does. Yeah, generally speaking, there are exceptions to everything. Hope you're playing some chess. I'm out. Challenge me on chess.com.